Alright folks, I have returned. Oh geez, we had to restart the stream again because of YouTube going down. Nick leaves Jace, the 14 in the corner off the back of the 5, it looks like. Needed just one more rotation in order for that ball to drop. Austin nudges off the 5 and makes their stripe in the corner, making it very difficult for them to shoot. Maybe the 11 in the side might be all they have. It's hard to tell. Hard to tell if he can even see that. Let's see what Nick can come up with here. He's looking at the 11 like he can shoot it in. You can definitely see the edge of it. I don't know if he could cut it in or not. Brings Amber to the table on the solids. Solids are looking pretty decent from here. I'll probably just go ahead and shoot the 1, bring the cue ball either towards the middle of the table for the 3 or straight down the table for the 4 in the corner. Personally, I'd probably put a little bit of left-hand spin on this and bring it back towards the 3 ball a little bit. She elected to go between the 11 and the 12 for the 4 ball next. Austin's just trying to see what will be possible from where he wants to leave the cue ball. Trying to figure out what they're going to do with the 7 ball before he shoots. Plays a nice shot, splits the 2 away from the 15. Amber can shoot this 7 ball in the bottom right. I believe it passes the 10, or she can shoot the 2 in the side, or the 3 up in the top right corner. I think 2, 3, 7, 5 might be the order here, especially if she starts with this 2 ball. Could start with the 7. So let's try to bring this cue ball down a little, just a tiny bit closer to the 7. Ooh, went just a little bit too far. It's going to force Amber to shoot the 5 here. He didn't want to bring the cue ball that far down the table. Just wanted to bring it down a few inches for the 7. Now most people will try to tap this in and lay for the 7. Personally, I'd like to go all the way to the top of the screen and back out to the middle. Got a lot of right-hand spin on this. Going to send it towards the 15 ball. She miscues. That brings Jace to the table with ball in hand. Stripes look pretty good. Just need to, I'd probably shoot the 10 ball first, really. Hit this 15 with some top. Try to go between the 8 and the 5 for the 10 ball in the corner. Pretty straight on the 10 though. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I would have liked to start with the 10 is because you can control the angle. See what Nick can do here. Just plays it rail first, but he wiggles the pocket, unfortunately, and that brings Austin back to the table on the solids. Bit of a tricky situation here. He could possibly bank the 7 up the table in the top left. Could play the billiard on the 5, but then you got to control the cue ball and the 7 ball both. It's going to be pretty difficult to lay the 7 in front of the side and the cue ball on the left side of the table to make sure that you have a shot for it. Looks like that may be what he's playing, going for the billiard it looks like. As you can see, very difficult to control the 7 and the cue ball for a shot on the 7. It may wedge off the back of that 10. It's going to be very difficult. We'll see if Amber can make it in there. Not a whole lot of choice here. It's either that or try to bank it across the corner and underneath that 8 ball. Okay, that brings Jace back to the table on the stripes. A few options here. He can play the 11, try to hold the cue ball in the middle of the table for the 12 ball in the same pocket. Could play the 12 ball with some low right or some straight left. He's going with some high left, it looks like. Worked out nicely. Alright, Nick can just pocket this ball. Probably want to go ahead and send the cue ball to the bottom of the screen and bounce it off the rail. If you try to tap this in, there's a good chance you can go past the 8 and not have a shot. Okay, so Nick overcuts it. Brings Austin to the table on the 7 ball. I like his chances from here. You can try to baby this in and just play it just a little bit above, or you can hit it with some pace like what he just did, which is what I like. He played at the speed that I like. I would have definitely played at that same type of speed, just try to get the cue ball out towards the middle of the table. He put a little bit of inside spin on that, a little bit more than what he needed, but that's all right. Speed was good. That puts Austin and Amber up 2-0, going to 4. This is for the hot seat. Winners guaranteed at least 2nd place. Losers guaranteed at least 3rd. And then there's some side pot monies to be decided as well. There's 2 side pots. And I believe there's only 2 teams left in the side pot. One of them is in the loser side, and the other is Jace and Nick. Austin Cherry to break. Hits him as hard as he can. Makes a ball in the bottom left corner. Let's see, looks like a solid down, open table. If they want to shoot solids, Amber's going to have to cut the 5 in the top left corner or the 1 in the bottom right. In fact, I really don't see a whole lot else to that or the 9-3 combination. They're going to go ahead and take their timeout right now. Okay, they're going to go for the jump over the 9 to the 3 ball as opposed to the cut on the 5. 5 ball's makeable from there. I would definitely cut the 5 before I go for this jump shot. And she scratches. Open table. Brings Jace to the table with an open table. He can put it anywhere he wants, and he can shoot at any ball that he wants except for the 8. And Jace is going to start with this 4 ball. Just hold the cue ball right there for the 6 next. Nice easy stop shot. Nick's got a few options. Shoot the 6 in the side or the 5 in the corner. Just nice and easy. Shoot the 6 in the side. 7 ball next. Okay, Jace is looking at the 5 ball next. Hits the edge of the 9 and blocks the 3 ball. He was trying to lay inside that 9 for the 3 ball. Couldn't quite get enough top spin on it to hold the angle he wanted. So Nick's going to have to cut the 1 or the 7 in the bottom right corner. The angle's there, he just has to make the ball. Okay, brings Austin to the table. They are stripes. Stripes look pretty good for the running here. He's going to go ahead and shoot this 12 ball first and lay for the 9. All right, Amber shoots the 9, brings the cue ball down the table a little bit. Austin's got a few options here. 14 in the side, 11 in the corner, 13 in the top corner. He's going to settle on the 11, bring the cue ball back up the table just a little bit for the 10 in the side. Amber could shoot the straight in 14. Or she could shoot the straight in 10 and just draw the cue ball back a few inches. All right, nice shot. Weighs nicely for the 14. Austin will shoot this 14 and lay for the 13. He's going to want to try to secure an angle that will lead easily to the 15 here. Probably just draw the cue ball back just a few inches. He could go forward to the side rail. He has done that. Goes that way so he can get just a little closer to the 13, make things just a little bit easier for his partner. Amber doesn't need any side spin here. She can just use a little bit of top. She could even play center if she wants. She elected to play low, which was not necessary. You could hit either top or middle and just hit it easy and roll the cue ball forward for the 15. Jace is going to settle on the 3 ball. Luckily for Amber, she's positioned the 13 right in the corner pocket, making it difficult to make the 1 ball anywhere. Nick's got his work cut out for him here. Could play a safety where he shoots the 1 into the 13, makes the 13, leaves the 1 in the corner. You have to use some low right and draw the cue ball down to the bottom of the table, potentially blocking it with the 8 ball. Okay, but he's not blocked the pocket, so that's going to bring Austin to the table. Not supremely difficult here. It's going to look a little bit harder than it is. Going to make this go out to the side, back out to the middle. Leaves the 8 ball nicely for Amber. Amber makes it right down the middle, and that puts them up 3-0. Jace and Nick have to win 4 straight games in order to win this match and stay on the winner's side. All right, Austin Cherry to break. He's going to hit it pretty hard. See if he can control the cue ball. He might be changing it up and going to the second ball break here. Let's see what he decides to do. No, he's going to go for the first ball. He's going to smash him. Oh, look at that cue ball jump.
I had a level cue. I stayed down on the shot. It still jumped. Look, I stayed down on the break and it still jumped. I didn't even stand up. Not much. Maybe this much would just be my elbow.
Okay, Jay selects to take the stripes. Doesn't leave Nick a whole lot to work with. He's got this 12-13 combination probably.
Lee Cole, Steve Bryan, table 10. Lee Cole, Steve Bryan, table 10. 5-4 race. Lee Cole, you go to 4-5. Bryan, you guys go to 4.
Just elects to play the 12 up by the corner. Blocks the 1 partially. I don't think the 1 goes by the 12. Amber shoots the 5, spins the cue ball out towards the middle of the table for Austin. Austin's probably going to shoot this 3 and try to send the cue ball into that 1 or 12 or both and try to reposition the 1 ball. Opening it up a little bit. He did try to do that, but was unsuccessful. He wanted to just nudge the edge of that one. Unless it goes by there. If it goes by there already, he might not have been trying to reposition it. Looks like Amber might be trying to make it. She's looking at it like maybe it goes in. On the monitor, it does not look like it passes. She's going to go for the crutch, so I have to assume that one ball goes by there. All right, it did pass. On the other side of that token, Amber has made it pretty tough for Austin here. He can cut this 7 into the bottom left corner. Well, he's looking at the 6 like maybe he can shoot it into the bottom right. All right, he had more room than it looked like it did on the monitor. Lays Amber towards the right or left center of the table for the 7 ball. Cuts the 7 in nicely. And if they can clear up from here, they're going to win this hot seat. Austin's going to shoot this 2, bounce the cue ball off the bottom rail, bounce it out for the 4, which he's done successfully. Left a pretty good angle here, and Amber, I think she can just draw it straight back to the 8 ball on the left-hand side. Don't think she even has to fool with that 9, just draw straight back, no side spin. Perfect. Perfectly done. All right, 8 in the side, and Austin and Amber win the hot seat and move on to the finals. Jace and Nick are guaranteed at least 3rd place. On the loser side, we've got Lee and Cole versus Brian and Steve. I'm going to put that match up here on the stream, but I'm going to mute the audio. I'm going to take a break for a little while, and more than likely I'll return shortly. Alright folks, I am back. Welcome to the semifinal matchup. Loser of this match gets third. The winner goes on to the finals to face Austin and Amber. Both teams going to 4 here, it looks like. Brian taps the 15 in, leaves Steve the 13. Steve can put a little bit of left-hand spin and go over into this 9. Needs a little bit of pace on it. He's a little bit unfortunate, leaves the cue ball behind the 7. Brian's going to try to kick to the left-hand side rail and make the 9. The only issue with that shot is the cue ball is going to be going away from the 8. And if he makes it, he's going to be leaving a very difficult shot for his partner. All right, makes a bad hit, contacts the 3 first, gives it ball in hand. And that brings Nick to the table with ball in hand on the solids. Nick wants to start with the 3. Personally, I like starting with the 2 ball here. Brings Jace to the table. He's got the 5 or the 7 in play. I think he's probably going to end up shooting the 7. Hit this with some top spin. Hit the bottom rail, come back up above the 5. Spins it over nicely for the 2 ball or the 5. I like that shot. That's what I probably would have tried to do, is bring it over to the side rail for the 2. Alright, if Nick cuts this 5, he needs to hit this with a little bit of right-hand spin to keep the cue ball underneath the 9. Just bring the cue ball back over to where he is now. And scratches in the side. Doesn't look like he put that right hand spin on it. That's why you need the right hand on that. Probably just hit top spin, I imagine. Steve's got a nice easy 9 in the side. Brian's got a nice straight in 8 ball in the corner. And that'll send Steve and Brian up 1-0 going to 4. All right, watch his feet on the way in, but it is down. That makes the score 1-0. Steve Elliott to break. Looks like he's going to hit the second ball. Makes a stripe. 1 stripe down. Open table for Brian. Looks like he's got the 7 in the bottom left corner, the 6 in the bottom right. He can cut the 13. Could potentially cut the 10 if he really wants to get bold. He's going to go for the crutch and shoot the 6 ball in the corner. Probably hit this nice and easy and lay for the 3 in the other corner. 3 in the corner. Steve plays the cue ball across the table. Leaves Brian a 4 ball in the corner or a 5 in the side. Probably shoot the 4 in the corner, I imagine. Nice cut from Brian. Leaves Steve the 2 in the side. Steve will probably just shoot a nice easy stop shot here for the 1 in the corner. He could roll it forward a little bit. Leaves Brian a nice easy 1 in the corner. Hit this with a little bit of low. Leave the cue ball between the 8 and the 9 for the 5 in the side. Hopefully for an angle that will lead the cue ball to the right hand rail in between the 10 and the rail for the 7 in the bottom left hand corner. Take some precise precisioning on these next 2 shots. Good speed and spin control. Alright, Brian didn't quite hit that right. He hit it with low, but he didn't quite hit it with the slide that he needed. He kind of rolled the cue ball. You need to slide that ball into the 1 to bring it between those 2 balls. Steve can kick this 5 in the side. He fires the cue ball in the side instead, and that brings Jace to the table with ball in hand on the stripes. All right, Jason and Nick are going to take a timeout here. Nick didn't think the 14 went by the 7, but it does. Nice stop shot. Lays Nick for the 14 ball. Nick shoots the 14 in the corner, bumps into the 10, knocking it to the right-hand side rail just a little bit. Leaves Jace where he can shoot the 9 in the corner, or he can cut the 10 up in the top right corner. Jace is going to shoot the 9 in the top left, roll the cue ball forward for the 11. Does so nicely. Leaves Nick where he can put a little bit of right-hand spin on this 11. Spin the cue ball over towards the right-hand side of the table between the 5 and the rail for that 10 in the corner. Oh, wiggles the 10 unexpectedly. Surprising miss there. Brian's got the 5 in the corner. He just rolled the cue ball forward a little bit for the 7. Leaves the 5 right in the corner, which is going to make it tough for his opponents here. Jason's got this 11 ball, but he's going to have to do some work to get around. He's going to have to come back around to get down on this bottom rail for the 10 in the corner. Needs some side spin here. Needs to not hit that 8 ball. All right, he has made it difficult for Nick here. Nick's probably going to have to try to make the 13 in off the 5, make both balls in the same pocket. Okay, he tries to do so, but fails. He gets away with it because he leaves the cue ball up towards the middle of the table. He leaves a shot on the 7, but it's a very difficult one. Steve's going to try to cut this 7 to the bottom left-hand corner. Overcuts it just a touch. Almost scratches in the left-hand side. That brings Jace back to the table. Jace can shoot the 13 here. He's going to 2 options. He can hit it soft, leave the cue ball where the 13 is for the 10 ball in the corner, or he can get a little bit crazy here and he can go 2 rails and back across and get above this 10 ball for that 10 ball in the same corner as the 13. He's going to elect to tap it in. I think that's a wise decision. A lot less can go wrong on that. Nick's got the 10 in the corner. Wants to just kind of hold the cue ball right there where the 10 is for the 8 in the side pocket. Likes to roll the cue ball forward a little bit for the 8 in the corner. That's all right too. If Chase can make this, it'll level the score at 1-1, going to 4. That'll bring Nick to the break. All right, Nick's going to break from the side rail. Let's see if he goes. Looks like he's going for the second ball. Hits it pretty well, but nothing goes in. Hit it with an accurate stroke, but nothing went in any of the pockets, so that'll bring Brian to the table with an option of solids or stripes. Looks like Brian's going to try to shoot the 5 in the corner. Needs to be careful to not move the 14 with his pull cue. Good stroke with the bridge there. I think Steve's going to be forced to shoot the 4 in the side. I don't think he can see the 1 to cut it in the bottom left corner. The good news is he can hit this with some low, go into that 3 just like that. Opens up the solids just a little bit more than they were. Brian elects to shoot the shoot the 7 in the side, and that'll bring Steve back to the table. He'll probably end up shooting the 2 in the corner.
If you could show me how to make balls,
Well, you can keep your sticks. You gotta talk like that.
if you can find the front around and find out like on it, I think mine's fucking effective. Mine's short out.
Ah, dang it.
All right, Brian will shoot the 3 in the side. Let's see what he elects to do with the cue ball. I think a little bit of top spin, just come down towards the bottom of the table, will work. Bounce it off that bottom rail a little bit for that 6 in the side. Chase comes to the table on the stripes here. A few different options. Can cut the 14 in the corner. He could shoot the 12 in the same pocket. Could cut the 11 in the top left corner. He's looking through to the 15 ball, like maybe he could cut it into the bottom right. Okay, he's settling in on the 12 ball in the top right corner. All right, Jace misses. That brings Steve back to the table. Has a 3 ball in the side pocket. I think his best bet here is to draw this cue ball over to the right-hand side of the table. Repositions the 1 a little bit. Can't quite tell on the monitor if that 1 goes in the corner pocket without hitting the 8 ball first. It's hard to tell. Ryan elects to play safe. Nick comes to the table on the stripes. Limited options. Probably going to have to shoot this 13 ball up in the top left corner more than likely. Likes to play safe off the 10 ball. Not a bad move. Blocks the 6 and the 1. Makes the life difficult for Steve here. Steve glances off the top of the 1, leaves the cue ball on the bottom of the table. Chase comes back to the table to see what he decides to do. Maybe some type of safety. He could shoot the 10 in the side. Elects to shoot the 10 in the side, brings the cue ball up nicely. Nick can shoot the 14 or the 12. Can even shoot the 15 in the bottom right corner if he chooses to. All right, shoots the 12, brings the cue ball back over towards the left-hand side of the table for Jace. Chase has got the 14 in the corner, in the side, or the 15 in the corner. He's pointing at the corner. Okay, I think he's just trying to check the angle on the 15 because he's probably just going to shoot this and stop the cue ball. Brings the cue ball back just a few inches. Leads his partner on the 15 in the corner. It definitely passes in there. Pretty straight in. His partner doesn't like it for some reason. He's looking at the 11 ball. The 15's laying pretty good. I would go ahead and shoot it. Roll the cue ball forward for the 9. Not quite sure why he doesn't like it. Plenty of room there. Likes to play safe using the 11. Plays a nice safety. Looks like Brian's going to have to shoot at the 6 ball. I'm not sure if he can do anything with it. may go in the bottom right corner. I'm not sure if he's got the angle. Goes in off of that ball. Leaves it right in front of the pocket. The 15 will not pass in there now. Got to take your opportunities where you can find them.
Dude, that was. I forgot about that.
All right, Chase tries to play safe. He didn't intend to make that 13 ball in the corner, I don't think. His partner thought that's what he was trying to do, but no, he was just could have cut it in the side if he was trying to make it. Oh, almost scratches. Comes up funny on the one. Going to make life difficult for Brian here. I don't really see through to how he can make this one. Just going to shoot the one into the 9, create a little bit of separation between the 1 and the 9, and maybe try to leave him hooked. Yeah, can't hook him completely. Leaves the 15 in the bottom, the top right corner.
No. Oh, that side. You'd get past the 5 mark.
Not sure. We're talking about possibly playing safer. I think you just shoot the 15 in the corner. Ooh, goodness. Almost a scratch on the side there. That was pretty dangerous. Chase has got this 15 in the corner. Just draw the cue ball back a little bit for the 11. All right, 2 options here. Hit this with a little bit of high right spin. Play 2 rails out towards the center of the table for the 8 in the bottom right corner. Or you hit it with a little bit of low and just go across the table with the right hand rail back out to the middle, 1 rail. Alright, with that miss, that brings Steve Elliott back to the table here on the 1 ball. He's probably going to hit the right edge on your screen of the 1 ball and just leave the cue ball behind the 8. Like so. Chase is going to be forced to play a jump shot here. Going to try to jump over the 8 ball and make the 11. All right, here we go. He's going to try to jump the 8, pocket the 11 in the top left corner. Jumps the 8 ball, fails to hit the 11, and gives that ball in hand to Brian on the 1 ball. They have just the 1 and the 8 left to go up 2-1. All right, Brian comes up just above the 8 ball. Steve will cut this 8 to the bottom right-hand corner more than likely. I would probably use some right-hand spin here to keep the cue ball down on this end of the table. Looking at the bank shot, but I really don't think that's necessary in this spot. They're going to take a timeout and talk about it. Steve wants to possibly shoot the bank shot to prevent leaving an easy shot on the 11, but that's really not necessary. All he needs is some right hand spin and cut that 8 ball in, and that should keep the cue ball on this end of the table. All right, he's going to go ahead and try to bank this ball. And he's made it. Nope. Yes, makes it, but not the way he intended. But guess what? That still counts because that's the pocket he called, folks. Steve went an extra rail. Banks the 8 ball short, goes across to the right-hand side of the table, comes back across, and goes in the pocket that he called. You don't see that every day. All right, Brian Hayes to break. Let's see what he can come up with. Scratches in the bottom right corner, does not make a ball. That brings Nick to the table, inside the kitchen with choice. Nick fails to make a ball, so it is still open. That'll bring Steve to the table. It is an open table for Steve. All right, Steve is elected to take solids. Looks like Brian wants to shoot the 6 ball in the right-hand side. Steve comes back to the table. Looks like he's probably going to be forced to shoot the 4 ball in the corner. Draws the cue ball back, but he doesn't leave anything easy for Brian here. Brian just plays a little bit of strategy and puts the 5 underneath the 9 in front of the bottom right-hand corner. That Brings Jace back to the table. They're on the stripes. Looks like he may be trying to put the 12 underneath the 5. No, he was trying to make that ball. I think the move there would have been to just put the 12 right in the jaws of the pocket and set it up for a 3-ball combination. That leaves it where you can break your 9-ball out of there. All right, Steve makes the ball, but not in the corner that not in the pocket he called. Jay shoots the stripe in the bottom right corner, leaves his partner for the 9 in the other corner. Nick leaves the 9-ball right in the corner. It looks like Nick's having trouble finding his target here. Just a tiny bit off on his shots.
I like my defense too.
That brings Brian back to the table. They have just the 2 and the 5 left. Looks like Brian's probably going to be forced to shoot a 2-5 combination, and it is a tough one. Even if he makes it, it's going to be very difficult to have a good shot on the 2 here. Okay, that brings Jace back to the table on the stripes. Stripes look pretty good from here. Jace is going to shoot the 11 in the right-hand side. Well, he's having second thoughts now, and they take the 15 ball. Could also play safety behind the 10 and the 11. Got to watch that top right corner off this shot. He's going to play safe off the 10. Cue ball peeks out a little bit for the 2 ball, so they probably won't get ball in hand here, but he hasn't left anything easy on for Steve. All right, Nick comes back to the table again. See if he can find his groove here. He's been struggling the last few games. Misses once again.
Yeah. The face was up a little louder.
Looks like Brian may be looking at kicking to the left-hand side rail and trying to make this 5 in the bottom left corner. It is available, but it is a tricky shot. Goes a little bit wide and gives the opposing team ball in hand. Alright, 3 stripes sitting in front of 3 different pockets here. Should be almost impossible to miss. Draw the cue ball back here a little bit. Pretty hard to miss this ball. Nick doesn't like how far he drew the cue ball back, but there's nothing wrong with where he left it. Tap this 11 in. Oh no. Needed to tap that ball in. He hit it with a little bit of pace, and now Nick's going to have a bit of a tester on this 8 ball, and he has been struggling with these types of shots over the last couple games. All right, Nick makes an 8 ball. Levels the score at 2-2. All right, Jay Stanley to break. Makes at least 1 ball. 1 solid down, open table for Nick. Balls are pretty out in the open. I think I like the stripes just a little bit more than the solids because of the 14 and the 11 there by the 3 ball. All right, Nick shoots the 12 in the side, leaves Jace the 9 in the corner. Jace draws the cue ball back a little bit for the 10 in the right-hand side pocket. Alright, nice shot in the corner, leaves Jace. It looks like maybe the 12 ball. No, it's not the 12. 15 in the corner. Jace brings the cue ball back over to the right-hand side of the table. I believe he can cut this 11 into the bottom right-hand corner from there. Okay, looks to play safe off the 11. Steve tries to cut the 6th ball to the top right, but ends up scratching there instead. Brings Jace to the table with 3 stripes left and ball in hand. They're going to have a little talk about it. They're just trying to plot out how they're going to run all these balls. They just want to get on the same page, the order and the position that they're going to use to get from ball to ball. All right, they're going to start with the 14. They're going to go 14, 13, 11, 8 ball in the bottom right corner where they're about to shoot the 14 at. Okay, Nick's going to have to shoot over this 8 ball. He's going to need some right hand spin. Some top and some right here. You're going to need a very good stroke, especially over the ball. This may be difficult. And he puts left hand spin on it. He needs right hand spin. He puts the left hand spin on it. That brings Brian to the table. He's going to elect to shoot the 2 ball first. I think he's going to shoot the 2 ball first. He should probably just shoot the 2 and shoot a stop shot. He's going to shoot the 5 ball first. Leave Steve where he can shoot the 2 in the corner or the 6 in the side. Probably elect to shoot the 6 in the side, I imagine. Just tap it in, follow the cue ball forward a little bit for the 1 in the corner. Brian should shoot the 1 in the corner and leave the cue ball right about where the 1 ball is for the 2 in the other side pocket. Brian and Steve are going to have a talk about what they want to do here. I think you just tap the 2 ball in, lay for the 3 in the side. Steve hit that a little bit too hard. There was a little bit of angle there, which is what he was concerned about. Tap that in with a little bit of throw-in spin, and the cue ball will stop a little bit shorter where it did. All right, Brian taps the 3 in, leaves the 4 in the bottom left-hand corner. Probably see Steve go to the right side of the table here. Now he put a little bit inside spin, just a little bit. Overshoots his mark just a little bit. He wanted to leave that 8 for the side pocket. Kind of left his partner on the 50-yard mark here where it's tough to make it in the side or the corner. Sets it in the corner, comes up a little bit wide of the mark. Brings Jace to the table. Alright, he needs to come down table between the 8 and the 13. I would probably, he hit that soft. What I like to do is hit that hard enough that it bounces all the way off the bottom rail and comes back up the table. When you hit that soft, the tendency is to either hit it too soft or too hard and end up kind of awkward on the 13. Steve makes it. They go up 3-2. Steve and Brian on the hill. Need one more. Loser of this match goes home with third place. The winner goes on to the finals to face Austin and Amber, who have yet to be defeated. All right, Brian Hayes to break. Makes a good spread, but nothing goes in. Leaves an open table for Nick. Nick settling on the 7 in the corner. And Jace can shoot the 6 in the bottom right corner, or he can shoot the 3 in the side pocket. I don't know if he can shoot the 5 past the 3. Looks like Jace is going to shoot the 3 ball, just tap it in there. Leaves his partner the 5 in the other side, the 1 down here in the bottom left corner. Whichever he prefers. Nick puts some back spin on that one, brings the cue ball back over. Chase is going to be forced to shoot the 6 ball next. Looking at where he wants to lay the cue ball for the 4 ball next. Rolls the cue ball just a little bit too far forward and sticks in behind the 10 ball, blocking all 3 of the solids. Okay, Nick's going to be forced to kick at probably the 1 ball, I imagine. Goes just a little bit wide. Contacts the 8, so that's a bad hit. Gives up ball in hand to Steve. Steve's going to start with the 11 ball in the top left corner. Looks like he's going to hit this with a high ball, roll forward a little bit, misses the 11 unexpectedly. Jace will shoot this one ball in the bottom left-hand corner. See how he positions the cue ball here. All right, cuts the one in nicely, repositions the two, opening the table up a little bit. Nick can shoot the 2 in the bottom right-hand corner or the 4 in the bottom left and just roll the cue ball forward a little bit for that 2 in the top right corner pocket. That's probably what I would do, would be shoot the 4, roll forward a little bit for the 2 ball. Yep, just wants to lay the cue ball right there where Jace put his Q-tip at. Yeah, they're talking about drawing it back, but I don't like that. It's a lot easier to just roll the cue ball forward a few inches than to draw it back and be exact where you want to be. Especially under pressure, the tendency is going to be to overdraw it or underdraw it. I mean, they really just need to shoot this 4 straight in, roll the cue ball forward about 3 inches, maybe 4. It's a lot simpler shot. Just like that, perfect. That's all you want to do. And Chase can shoot this 2 in the corner pocket. Just hold the cue ball right there. And they can shoot it the side. Looks like he's going to roll the cue ball forward, which you can do that. There's no need to. They're going to shoot the 8 in the bottom left-hand corner. Let's see if Nick applies top or bottom. Either one will work here. Just straight misses the 8 ball. May see Brian play safety using the 10 ball here. Otherwise, they're going to have to figure out how to get to that 15 ball if they try to run these balls out. All right, Brian shoots the 9 in the corner, sends the cue ball towards the top of your screen. Leaves Steve a couple different options here. He can play safe with the 11. He can shoot the 13. He can shoot the 12. He could take on the harder shot and take the 10 down in the bottom right corner. Plays kind of a two-way shot there. He tries to make the 13, but he makes sure that he blocks the 8 ball in the process. You see Jace takes the air here. You guys already had your time out. You can't talk about it. Oh, Steve's telling Brian we need to run these balls out, shoot this 15 ball and get it over with, and Brian said no, and they changed his mind. So Brian's going to shoot the 15, which I think is the right move. It's not a super difficult shot. Just make the ball. All right, 10 in the corner. Brian Brian's got the 14 in the bottom left. Just put a little bit of low and come up above that 13 ball. Nothing fancy required here. Wipes its feet on the way in, but it still went in, so it counts. All right, now it's thinking cap time. Got to make sure to leave yourself an angle here to get to the 12 off of this 11. All right, Steve has left the 11. It looks like there's a couple different options here. He can soft roll it forward and leave the 12 for the bottom right-hand corner, or he can hit this with some top spin, bring the cue ball back up above the 12. Knowing Brian, he'll probably just tap this in. Nice and easy, but he misses. Hits it too light in the loafers and doesn't shoot it straight. Brings Nick to the table on the 8 ball. It's a bit of a thin cut. It's not a gimme. This could be missed. Should make this, but it doesn't have to go in. Oh, 11 saves him from scratching. Saves the game. All right, Hill decider, 3-3. Winner goes on to the finals. Loser takes third place. All right, chase to break. Hill. Let's see what he can come up with. All right, comes up dry, open table. Brings Steve to the table. I think maybe he might have went to the restroom. Bit of a tricky spot here for Steve. Not a whole lot of options. Maybe the 3 in the bottom left corner.
I think I've just got PTSD. Well, you figure it out. You let me know.
All right, Steve's coming back from the restroom now. All right, he's going to take the 3 to the bottom left corner. Awkward cue in over the 4.
I was on the phone. My head was like this.
You can tell. Look at it from over here. It's going into this diamond.
All right, so an open table brings Nick to the table with his choice. Shaking his head, does not like his options. going to try the 5 in the top right corner. Still open. Alright, Brian takes the 5 in the corner, but scratches, still open. Chase is going to take the 2 in the corner, lay for the 6 in the other corner. Let's see what Nick elects to do with the cue ball here. Draws it back for the 4. Is going to get real close to the 4 here. Don't know what he's left Chase. Not a whole heck of a lot, I don't think. Drew it back too far. Chase is going to try to cut this 4 to the bottom left. Looks like maybe he might kick to the side rail and make it. Brings Steve to the table on the stripe balls. Cuts the 9 to the bottom right corner. Doesn't leave Brian a whole lot to shoot at here. Maybe the 12 in the bottom left corner, but then he's got to worry about making that 8 in the bottom right. Brian's waving it off. He's playing safety. Probably just going to roll the cue ball to the bottom rail. Okay, not bad. Pretty good containing shot. Leaves his opponent where he can see his balls, but can't really do a whole lot with them. Going to be difficult for Nick to play an entire safety here. He's probably going to have to play some sort of containing shot back at him. Okay, he was calling a ball there. I don't know how he was going to get in that pocket, but looks like more of a containing shot. I think he was just calling that just in case it somehow fluked in. Okay, so let's see what Steve can do on the stripes. There's not a whole lot that he can really shoot in except maybe the 15 ball. Looks like he's going to separate the 10 and the 12 and just play another containing shot. That's not bad. He's left Jace where he can shoot the 3 in the right-hand side. Looking at the 1, maybe it passes that stripe on the side rail. I think more than likely he'll land on shooting the 3 in the side. No, he's going to take the 4 to the bottom right corner. Okay, elected to play safety, but didn't really quite get safe. see what Nick decides to shoot here. He's got the 1, the 3, or the 7. All right, 1 in the corner. Jason's going to try to shoot this 3 in the right-hand side. Brings Steve to the table. Nothing easy on. Steve tries to play safe. I think he was trying to play up behind that 11, 13, 10. Nick's going to play the 7 to the top right corner. Going to need a little bit of spin here. Oh, he's going to try to bank this ball? I'm not sure what his thinking is here. Not sure why you would even try that. Can't see any positive reason on why he would try to do that. Still trying to figure out why he would try to bank that ball. It wasn't a difficult cut. He could have brought the cue ball down to the bottom end of the table with a little bit of right-hand spin. He could have went 2 rails. Jason's going to play safe off the 3. Just play a containing shot here. Excuse me. All right, Steve tries to cut the 15 on the side but misses. Leaves Nick a cut on the 7 in the bottom left-hand corner. That brings Brian to the table here. We're having a little bit of trouble getting over the hump in this final decider game. Neither team's really wanting to jump out here and run the table out. Let's see where Steve positions the cue ball here for this next shot. Comes up above the 11 nicely. A little bit of a bad cut, but that's okay. Brian's got a couple options. He can hit this with top spin and go 2 rails towards the top left of your screen, back out towards the middle. He's going to hit this with low left. That was the other option, was to hit it with low left. Either one can come out to that same middle of the table-ish area right there. So we got the 15 in front of the right-hand side, the 14 there by the spot, and the 12 ball on the bottom of the table. And I believe the 12 goes in if they can just lay good on it. Need to obtain a very nice angle on the 14, and Steve has done that. I believe he's obtained a decent angle here. They're going to talk about it, I think. I think we just shoot the 14 and just lay the cue ball over there where Steve put his hand at. Should be easy peasy. And hit this with a high English, that's for sure. Spin the cue ball forward. That's a little bit light in the loafers there. Needed to spin that ball. Need a little bit of high, need a little bit of right. I'm not sure if this ball can go in from there. Steve did make a good hit there. I believe Steve made a good hit. I don't think Brian positioned him where he could possibly make that ball. All right, we're coming down to the nitty-gritty of this match here. All right, and Jason and Nick are going to take their time out. Talk about what they want to do here. All right, they're going to play safe using the 3. Jace is just going to shoot straight into this 3 and leave the cue ball on the left-hand rail. Okay, he has blocked this ball in the corner. Definitely made it tough for Brian to make the ball from here. Plays a pretty good shot from what he had. Just grazes the top of the 12, leaves the cue ball right in the jaws of the pocket. Gonna be tough for Nick and Jace to run out from here. Got a good starter on the 7, but with that 4 ball on the bottom rail, may be difficult to find your way back down here to get position on it. Okay, they've tied the 12 and the 4 together on the bottom rail. It's going to prolong this game a little bit. Oh, Jace is going to hit the edge of this 4. This is dangerous. This is dangerous, folks. All right, good shot. Brian's going to kick to the right-hand rail, try to kick into the 12, create just a little bit of separation between the 12 and the 4. Keep the 4 block and force Nick to shoot this 3 ball. could play safe here. He could just play a Catanian shot where he shoots the cue ball to the top rail. Ooh, look out 8-ball. Both teams feeling the pressure here. I think no matter who wins this match, they're going to have their hands full with Austin and Amber. Steve's going to try to bank this ball up there where he pointed to. Makes it in nicely. Oh, scratches in the side. Oh my gosh, what a shot, what an outcome. Glances off the 8, goes in the side. What a shot he made though. Hard to predict that outcome from there. Chase has got ball in hand on the 3. And let's see if Jace and Nick can hold their nerve and run these 3 balls out. Pretty straight on this 4. Let's see what he does. I think he's fairly straight on this. Okay, he had a little bit of angle there. Little distance between this cue ball and 8-ball. This ball doesn't have to go in under pressure, especially if you try to tap it in. Wiggle, wiggle. He kind of poked it a little bit. That's under pressure. It's not uncommon to make a mistake like that. And Brian thinks he can cut this 8-ball in. Calls the corner pocket. I'm pretty sure he can make it. Needs to be careful with the cue ball. Doesn't want to scratch in the left-hand side. All right. Brian and Steve go on to the finals to face Austin and Amber. Chase and Nick get 3rd place. All right, we're going to have Austin and Amber versus, sorry, I wrote that in wrong. Let me correct this scoreboard real quick. All right, we'll be right back momentarily for the finals. Steve and Brian need a quick breather to get themselves composed and ready for the finals, and we'll be right back. All right, sorry about the delay, folks. Score is 1-1, and Brian is on the 8-ball in the side pocket here. Oh, all right. Well, Steve and Brian go up 2-1. Go into 4. Amber and Austin have to be beaten twice in order to lose. They are undefeated so far. All right, that brings Steve Elliott to the break. All right, open table for Austin Cherry. Has starting shots on both solids and stripes. I believe Austin's going to elect to play the 5 up in the corner. Okay, never mind. He's going to play the 6 in the side, maybe? Not sure if he was playing the 6 in the side or the 12 in the corner. Open table for Brian. Brian's going to try to cut this 11 to the bottom left-hand corner. Oh, wiggles the pocket. Still open for Amber. Probably going to end up trying to shoot this 11 in the corner, I believe. Looks like they're going to have a talk about it, decide what they want to do. I believe she'll probably end up shooting the 15-11 here, which is split the 13 away from the 2 and the 10 right there. Solve a major problem in the middle of the table for them. Nice shot, pockets both balls. If I'm not mistaken, the 10 does go in the right-hand side if you play position on it properly. That's what Austin's looking at right now. Austin's going to try to draw his cue ball back a little bit for the 10 in the side, I believe. And I think he's gotten at a decent angle here where the 10 can be made in the side. Cue ball will go forward into the 1 and the 14 in the middle of the table, solving yet another problem with the stripes. Could potentially see a run out from here. If this ball drops, nicely pocketed. A little bit of work left to do though. 13 in the bottom right corner more than likely. Going to be a bit tricky to get on the 12 or the 14 though. All right, Austin's going to cut the 13 to the bottom right corner. Tries to play around the table for the 14, but he's blocked by the 5 and the 4. You know, he's blocked by the 5 anyway. Amber can still see through to a 14-12 combination. It is sitting at a difficult angle though. All right, Amber's calling safety here. Just repositions the 14. Knocks the 13 over in front of the 12, which is going to make it difficult to make the 3 ball. Buying themselves at least one more trip to the table potentially. Steve's going to shoot the 5 in the corner, lays pretty good for the 4 in the corner or the 2 in the other corner. Let's see what he decides to do with the cue ball here. Just holds the cue ball right there where the 4 was. Steve can cut this 2 to the bottom left-hand corner, shoot the 7 in the left-hand side if he chooses. I think that's probably what he'll settle on. Going to shoot the 7 ball, probably bring the cue ball out just a little bit. Pretty good angle on the 2 ball in the bottom right corner now. The other choice would be to shoot the 6 and reposition that 3 ball. Okay, they're going to take a timeout and talk about it here. I think Steve likes the 6 in the side and breaking that 3 out. You got to take your opportunities where you can find them, and I agree with him here. I think if you're going to try to get this 3 out of there, this is the time to do it. Brian tends to play a little more conservatively than that. Okay, well, he did go into it a little bit, but didn't quite get the fortune that he was looking for.
Why'd you run your card?
Steve is called safety. He's going to play this 2 and just play the cue ball to the bottom left of your screen. I believe he's left an angle on the 14 where Austin could potentially go up behind the 12 ball. That's what he tried to do. Came up just a little bit short of the mark. Looks like Austin tried my shot and tried to go up behind the 12, but was unsuccessful. Now Brian should probably go ahead and try to shoot this 3 inside and get it out of there. I don't know how else you're going to get back around to it. I think Brian's played a good safety here. Left Amber a difficult shot. She can't see the top of this 12 to cut it. She's going to have to play the rail first if she goes that route, and I'm not sure that's even available. I think what she may end up doing is playing to that top rail and just tapping into the 12 and playing safety up behind the 12. I was looking over there, I didn't see it. Alright, that brings Austin to the table with ball in hand. They were asking me if the 12 ball hit the rail. I didn't see it. I wasn't watching, unfortunately. I was looking at something else, and I should have been paying attention. I apologize for that. She's probably just going to try to draw this back out above the 3 ball. Nice shot. Leaves Amber a pretty standard shot here. Just a little bit of low left. Should take care of this one. Lay the cue ball nicely for the 8 in the side. Needs a big bounce here. I think she's gotten out far enough for the 8 in the side. And she has. Austin should make this easily. Levels the score at 2-2, going to 4. We're halfway home, folks. Now we'll bring Amber up to break. Amber hits the break nicely, makes the ball on the right-hand side. Austin likes the stripes here. He's going to shoot the 12 ball in the corner. Draws the rock back just a little bit. Amber's got some options here. She's got the 14 in the side or the 11 in the corner. Amber settles on the 11 in the corner. Probably use a little bit of low right here. Bring the cue ball back out for the 14 in the side. Okay, I believe she did use low right, but she didn't quite get the RPMs on the spin to bring the cue ball backward. That's all right though. They've laid on the 15 in the corner or the 10 in the bottom right. Austin will probably end up shooting the 15 ball. He's just looking to see what will happen if he does shoot the 10 ball. All right, Austin settles in on the 15 ball. Nice shot. All right, lays Amber for the 14 ball in the corner. Got a little position work to do with the cue ball. I would expect her to probably either go to the right-hand side rail with some low right, bring it back out for the 10 or the 13, or spin it around 3 rails with a little bit of left-hand spin. It's a little bit soft, and I think she may have blocked Austin on the 10 ball. I don't think he can see enough of it to cut it to that bottom right pocket. Austin looking through to this 9 ball, probably play some kind of containing shot. Does so nicely, leaves him at the bottom of the table, doesn't leave him anything easy. They can see the 4, the 2, the 7, but none of those look real tasty to make to me. Brian's calling safety here. Okay, shoots the 4 over to the right-hand side of the table. Leaves the cue ball on the left-hand side of the table. Amber can see the bottom of this 9 ball, but not enough to make it. She could potentially try to bank this in the bottom left, but a very dangerous shot. More than likely will end up double kissing. She calls safety instead. Probably just poke the 9 ball over there in front of the bottom right pocket. Nice shot there. Blocks the solids entirely. Great shot from Amber there. Brings Steve Elliott to the table. He may be able to see the edge of the 7 or the 2, but he definitely can't see enough to do anything positive with it. Okay, plays through, hits the edge of the 7, plays the 7 and the 6 up the table a little bit. Austin's more than likely going to play some form of containing shot or safety here. Could potentially even play the 13 in front of that right-hand side to try to muck things up for Brian and Steve. All right, he's going to try to bank the 9 in the bottom left-hand corner pocket. Send the cue ball up above the 2 stripes. Comes pretty close to making his ball. Leaves Brian the 6 in the corner. Cuts it in nicely, sends the cue ball down to the bottom right of the screen a little bit. Steve's just looking through to see if he can somehow make that one ball in the side pocket. Probably off the 5 ball. Fails to make the ball. That brings Amber to the table. Alright, looks like Amber's going to try to cut this 10 in, send the cue ball into the 13. Try to position the cue ball above the 13 if possible. Nicely done, very nicely done. Austin plays nice position for the 9, goes back and across. Amber can just tap this in, bring the cue ball up the table, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 inches. It should be a nice, easy 8 ball in the corner, in the top right corner. Just like that, good line, good speed. Austin's almost straight in here. I would expect him to make this. All right, Austin and Amber, 1 game away from victory. Steve and Brian must win twice in order to win this tournament. So they have to win 2 straight games, and then they have to win a whole nother set in order to dethrone Austin and Amber. Alright folks, I've just been signaled. It appears Tommy Sheets is going to be joining me in the commentary booth for the last couple games here. Score is 3-2 in favor of Austin and Amber.
3-2, yee.
Could be the last game here.
Could be. Austin and Amber's been playing pretty good.
They've been
They're
playing pretty
tough to
solid
beat
today.
going to 4, that's for sure.
They have been playing solid today.
Yep.
Amber's been hitting that second ball break pretty solid.
Yep. Hit a dry one there.
Yeah, she's been making a ball that right-hand side quite a bit.
That 9 ball was just under it.
Yep. I don't know, you can't see it on the camera, but there is a packed house in here besides the tournament.
Absolutely.
Every pool table is in use.
Friday and Saturday's been pretty busy in here lately.
A lot of
Which
people
we
out.
are not upset about.
A lot of people out enjoying their Saturday night. How was that pizza?
Pizza was good. Had the Papa Bob's garlic pizza, garlic sausage.
I ate a whole one by myself last week.
It's about 10 times better than the Butch's. I like Butch's pizza, but man, that garlic sausage one at Papa Bob's is good.
It is pretty good. I've never had it anywhere but here.
I'm not sure of anywhere else that has it, to be honest. I'm sure somewhere else here in town has Papa Bob's, but
These stripes look pretty good.
they do indeed.
A little bit of an issue with that 12 ball there by the 12 or by the 4 and the 2, but other than that,
Yep. Got 3 balls to shoot out here. Which one are they going to pick? She can go for that 15, try to go between that 2 and that 4 and take the chance of bumping one of
I
them.
think that's what Austin's telling her to do,
I
is shoot the
think you
15
might
and
be
go
right.
over to the right-hand side a little bit and maybe move that 12.
Yeah, worst case scenario, she bumps one and it sticks on the rail and they shoot the 10 ball.
Yeah, he's shooting your shot.
That's what he's wanting her to do. Is he wanting her to get up and get that 12 ball out of there? Or is he wanting her to get that 4 ball
He
out
kind
of
of
the way?
pointed between the 2 and the 4, it looked like. Now she's hitting low on the ball.
Yeah, she is. I don't know what.
See if she draws it up into the 12.
Yeah, see if she draws up in the 12 and the 9. Well, she got into the 12 ball.
She did move it a little bit, I think.
Did move it. I think she
Yeah,
put
it
in
doesn't
about.
doesn't pass the 8 though. I thought maybe it might pass on the other side, but it doesn't.
Hit the one window she didn't want.
Still left Austin where he can shoot the 10 though. They still
Can he
got
get by
outs.
that 12 ball?
He can, yeah.
All right. Good news, good news.
It looks like he can.
He can indeed.
Oh, he wanted to zip off that rail and
Yes,
move
he
the 12
did.
right there.
Hit that 2 right in the face.
Yeah, he hit it square in the face. Missed his mark just a little bit.
Yeah. That 12 ball got enough for him to go by that? What is that, 4 ball?
By the 4 ball, I don't know. It doesn't look so on the monitor.
Maybe a slow roll? Did it go by there?
Maybe. Maybe. If
Or
you're
just-
sitting on the left side of it, you may be able to curve it in just a little bit.
Why is she throwing after this 11 ball?
I think she's going to play safe. I think she's just going to tap it off the rail. Try to play up. Just try to play up behind the 6 and
Yeah.
block him on everything else.
Yeah. Not a bad move there. About as wide open as they were.
If you can leave him right on the 6, it's a good move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Austin's not too happy about what her decision doesn't look like. He would rather her just laid that 9 ball inside and left him something to go for.
Yeah, probably.
There was balls everywhere, so most likely she would have left him on something. That was. Did he
Nice
call that?
3-ball
That
combination.
was a
He
damn
did.
good shot.
Yeah, he did.
Good shot, Steve.
Brian lands nicely on the 6 here. Looks like he's just gonna.
He's gonna punch it over a little bit,
Punch it
try to
over
get
a
him on
little
5 ball.
Yeah, he's left him on the 3 or the 1. I don't like the 5 from there.
Yeah, I agree. 1 ball here.
Steve's gonna look at the 1 ball here.
Yeah, he did
Draws
pop
back
it back
for
a
the
little
5
bit.
and the
Just a good
side.
shot. 5 inside. Brian might be
Got a little bit
money
of trouble.
ahead. Well,
A little
does that
trouble
3
on
ball
the
go?
7.
Does that 3 ball go between? 8 and 11?
It doesn't go inside. It goes down here in the corner. Doesn't go past the 14 in the side.
Play 5, play keep off the rail, back out the middle of the table.
Oh, horseshoes
Yeah.
the pocket.
Yep.
Looks like he just tried to play it back over from the 3.
Zigged when he should have zagged there.
Austin's got this 11 ball more than likely.
Most likely that's going to be it.
They'll use the 9 ball to reposition that 12 and get it away from that 7 at some point.
He might try to stop her right here.
He may. He's looking at it right now. The angle he wants to secure to try to get over for that.
I almost like stopping that cue ball before the 8 and having her tight cut
Just
into
going
the 9.
between the 5 and the 8.
Going between the 5 and
If
the
you
8 on
can-
that tight cut. If you can hit her on that,
If you can
there's-
leave it
it's
in that
guaranteed.
gap, if you can leave it in that gap, it's a
Guaranteed
good
she
shot.
Makes the ball.
And the 12, after that 9's gone, the 12 does go up in the top right corner. So even
True.
if you don't hit it and you go around it,
He chose to play it up. Did he get past the 8 ball?
he did. But I don't like that angle going into the 12 from there.
Yeah.
It's
He's
going
gonna
away
try to-
from the 12.
Maybe he's planning on playing it back up in that top corner of that 12 ball.
Could be.
She plays up a couple rails, gets him on
If
14.
they shoot this 9 now, it does not go to the 12.
She's put a lot of bottom on it. This could be genius or it could be disaster.
Oh wow, it did go past the 12. It
Went
didn't.
right on by it.
It didn't look like the angle was there to get there. That's okay. He's all right here. He can just draw this back. Don't even need any side spin. You just have to draw it with some straight draw down to the bottom of the table. Should lead to the bottom right of the table. Could end up behind the 2. Or you could go into the 8 and leave it real messed up.
That was option Z.
I don't think he quite got the backspin on it that he was intending there. It didn't get the zip. He needed to zip it back.
Yeah.
It didn't really. It just kind of slid over.
I'm not sure that he was trying to play back under it though.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he was or not. I think he could have.
I feel like if he would have been trying to play back under it, he would have got a lot closer to being under it.
Yeah.
Then
I mean, he
being right
definitely
there.
was there.
Yeah.
Amber's just going to graze off the top of this
Yeah,
12,
yeah,
or is she going to
punt.
kick it? She's going to just graze off the top of it, reposition it.
And a scratch.
Oh, scratches in the left-hand side.
Yeah, went off, caromed off that 3 ball. And we're back down there now. Yeah.
No, I don't see her anywhere.
The 2 balls got them stuck, but they play that
Yeah, it's
7 ball.
also a good barrier for them to play up behind.
Absolutely. They can play the 7
Not from
ball
here,
right
but-
now. Well, he's got ball in
Oh, I guess
hand.
he does have ball in hand, doesn't he?
I mean,
He could play it right here, but I would probably get rid of one of my balls first.
I might make the 5 ball and call safe.
That's
Make 5 ball
feasible
in the
too.
corner, call safe, leave right behind the 7 ball. I can kick at it and get that 2 ball opened up, then get out. We'll see how this goes.
I think he's gonna. That's a good shot actually.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Broke out,
Not
didn't
sure
he?
if he was trying to break it out, but it worked. I'm not sure if he was trying to break that out or if he's just trying to draw it back for Brian to play safe on the 2.
Well, whatever
Either
happens
way,
here.
it works. Yeah, either
Brian gonna
way.
play safe, or is he gonna?
They're going to talk about it. Have a little
Wave it
powwow.
off.
Get on the same page.
That might be a real good opportunity to play safe. All they got to do is tap that 2 ball.
I
Even if
guarantee you
make
Steve
it,
wants to
you're
run
stuck
out from
behind
here.
that 8.
Steve doesn't play the conservative.
Yeah,
He wants to
yeah.
run out. He doesn't want to play the conservative
I
game.
completely agree.
All night long, he's been
Sounds like
telling
he's
Brian,
jacked
let's
back.
run out when the balls
Yeah.
are there to run out.
Yep. Oh,
Brian even told him
Here
no
it
one
is.
time. Brian's like, no.
here it
And then he
is.
looked at it again. He's like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, Steve.
Oh,
Sold the farm. Sold the farm.
so close yet so
Oh,
far
yeah.
away.
Also make this 97%.
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
this is
time
this ball's going in.
with
no
perfect
doubt.
shape.
No doubt.
Oh,
Oh,
did
he
he overroll
might
the
come
shape?
up a little short. Nope, that's
All
good.
right,
That's good.
Yep, that's good.
No, he meant to go
All
to that.
day.
He meant to go to that side
yeah,
rail.
he got,
Better
I agree.
than trying to tap it in and missing the ball.
Yep. Yep, it's better to put a little bit more on it and play one extra rail than trying to hold it.
Yeah, it's
You're gonna
One of the hardest
you're
things
gonna
to
burn
do-
yourself a lot more times holding it than you are just going.
one of
that
the hardest
extra
things to
rail.
do under pressure is to hit the ball soft and straight. All right, Austin and Amber are your
That's it.
champions. And that's going to do it for us here at Stix. And next week is a 5 and under tournament. Make sure if you're a 5 or below, get signed up for that. Should be a good turnout. Should be a good tournament. Should be a good payout for a lower handicap. So if you're a 5 or below, make sure to get signed up for that next Saturday. Check out the Stix on 36 Facebook page. Get signed up on there. And that's going to do it for us from here at Stix at 36. Enjoy your evening. Thank you for joining us.